Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon you. This is Brother Omar Rashid, and I am the author, poet, and Peaceful Hearts Guide. For those of you who are just getting introduced to me, I was diagnosed with bipolar at a very young age, and I was living a fairly difficult life until which point I had attempted suicide. And alhamdulillah, Allah protected me, saved me, and not only allowed me to survive this encounter, but to thrive. And now, alhamdulillah, I'm passing on the guidance that Allah gave me to help others who are struggling from depression, anxiety, and bipolar. So I wanted to share today something that I think is critical, which is about the signs that a transformation is complete. So I want to share a little bit about my story. Now, I was when I was young, I was picked on a lot. I was shorter than everybody and I was younger than everybody. And I was often picked on. I was bullied, people got into fights, and I was called names and all sorts of other stuff like that. And it was very difficult growing up in that way. And I felt a lot of low self-esteem because of that. I felt a lot of stress and anxiety. It didn't help that I had diagnoses of depression and ADHD and all sorts of other stuff. And one of the things that happened as I developed and was guided to the solutions that helped me to overcome these situations was, I can look back in my memory and I know that these things happened. I know that I was bullied. I know that I was one of the most lonely kids and I felt so isolated, had very few friends, was always picked on. I know that that's part of my life history. But I know that the transformation is complete in terms of my healing and my recovery, because those memories, although I know them as objective facts, they are so far away from my lived experience that I don't remember what those things felt like. I don't remember being picked on. I don't remember in my visual memory all of these things happening. I know they happened, right? Because I know what's happened in my life. But the transformation that I've gone through has been so total and complete that I can not even imagine what it felt like when I was dealing with these things. And I would say that my transformation began, I won't say that it finished at this age, but it began at the age of 16. And all I can remember vividly of my youth, of my undergraduate years, my graduate school years, and all of my working years after, all I can remember is being surrounded by loving friends, loving family, people who've been taking care of me, people who have been really trustworthy people in my life. And it's amazing to me that the vast majority of my youth, up until the age of 15, was wrought with bullies and being picked on and being alone and isolated and feeling lonely. And I know this, but I don't remember it. I don't feel it. I can't bring up memories to describe how it felt. And that's one of the signs that the transformation has been complete. You know that the transformation of your recovery is complete when you can know about what happened in your past, but you can't imagine it with depth in your heart, what it felt like, because the healing has been so thorough and overwhelming that your identity shifts. And when your identity shifts, so my identity shifted from somebody who was bullied and picked on and had no friends and all these things. That used to be my identity. But my identity changed as I went through this transformation process. Now that I feel that I am a person who is loved and taken care of and having good friends and all of these things. So when the transformation of your identity occurs, one of the signs that you have been successful, or varying degrees of success in this path, is that you can't even imagine, you can't remember with vivid emotion all the pains and the difficulties that you went through. And of course, part of the path of reaching this stage, right, is recollecting what your youth was like, what the problems were, what you were dealing with. You've got to remember them and then deal with them, right? But one of the things that's amazing is that as you continue on this process, you become so disconnected from the pain that was in your past that it looks like almost like a TV show of somebody else's life, not your life, not my life. I do know that there was a lot of, people picking on me and attacking me, and I remember those things. But it doesn't feel like it was me. It feels like it was some character on a TV show or in a book. It wasn't really me. And I just wanted to share one of the things that keeps me being hopeful about the future for so many people who are struggling with very real struggles. We want to be able to put these into our past. Wouldn't it be amazing if you were able to take all of the pain and the suffering and the anguish that you felt in your youth and you're currently feeling, and it was just a memory? That it was just something from the past that doesn't affect you anymore, that doesn't feel, that you don't feel it and you're not connected to that. Wouldn't that be such a great thing to experience? Well, I'm here to share with you that as a process of walking through this process with me, inshallah, you'll be able to reach that position and reach that stage and to make that shift and to have all of these pains that you're experiencing now be just like memories off in the distance, that you can't even connect with them anymore. And I would like to share something from the Sunnah of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, that we think a lot about the pain and the suffering of this life, of this world, of the hayat ad-dunya, right? We're always remembering things that happened to us, friends who betrayed us, family members who betrayed us, pains that we've experienced, hurts that we've had, and they're very strong in our memory. But one of the beauties of the paradise, right, of Jannah, is that when we get to that stage, if we've been suffering for 100 years on earth, we won't even remember the struggles and suffering. And we will feel like we lived on this earth for a day or a part of a day. Because when we're in the akhirah, when we're in Jannah, all of the past is just like a dream. It's like a small speck of the universe. And there's so much more joy that we experience. And we've even forgotten about all the pain and the suffering. So this is one of the stages of Jannah. This is one of the experiences of paradise. But that same paradise experience can be experienced here on earth when we transform and we process and we relive and re-transform our identity such that we don't feel the pain that we used to feel. So that's what I wanted to share today, alhamdulillah. I hope that this message has been beneficial for you. If it has, please comment and like and share and let other people know who may be struggling and who may have lost hope. Please share this message so that they can find the hope and the help that they need. And I would like to let you know that I'm still on my campaign, inshallah, to have 1,000 Muslims fill out this survey to help get started on the process of recovering from depression, anxiety, and bipolar. So if you're able to take that survey, please do. And if you can pass it on to those who may need it, I would really appreciate it. May Allah bless you and your family and have an awesome weekend. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.